and welcome to the second episode in this interview series between the Bogey men and Opal Ireland. And in today's episode we have a very special guest. It is the Shamrock Rovers captain and Cape Verde international Pico Lopes. Shamrock Rovers have had a very impressive run in the European Conference League there very recently in the last couple of years, and Pico Lopes has been an intrinsic part of that. So we're going to have a chat all about how he got into football, playing internationally for Cape Verde, and of course we're going to play a little bit of golf. Pico, thank you so much for doing this.
Nope.
Really appreciate it. You're in the middle of a very busy European block at the moment. We'll get into a little bit of that at the moment, but this is a reflective type of interview series. So can you tell me, what was your first memory of playing football?
Playing football, it was definitely on the road where I grew up in Crumlin. I no real interest in football. It was more so like basketball. And like I wasn't even like into basketball. I watched Space Jam when I was younger.
Yeah, great movie.
Yeah, I just became obsessed with Michael Jordan. I remember there was one lad on the road who was big into football. I used to watch it on TV, and I remember kicking a ball around with him one time, and he said he used to go to these sort of training sessions around Sundroy Park, which is local enough. And I remember going around one day with him. I just loved it. Just got the bug straight away. I just loved the sort of like whole commotion, running around, trying to chase a ball, get it back and keeping your possession. I just fell in love with it off the back of that.
Was it natural to you, like, or are you the type of player that you have to just, obviously natural ability comes to a number of players and everyone works very hard at your level, but when you were a kid, was it natural and you just loved it and it became very easy?
No, I wouldn't say it was easy. I was never really like gifted sort of technically. I had lots of energy when I was younger.
Sure.
And I just gave me something to do, like run after a ball, get it back. I was like, yeah, no problem. Like, and that was me. Like I pride myself on the hard work and just the sort of like hustle and bustle. I just loved that side of it. And then obviously as the years developed, I really tried to work on the other side, because that was something that I lacked for a long time. I'd say I always felt like I was a good athlete. I could run, I could tackle, I could jump, but it was more so the finer skills that I really need to hone on.
How were you in school?
Do you know what? I wasn't the worst. I love going in for the social side. Let's say. Academically, again, not the worst. I just probably a bit lazy. And I just probably distracted a lot. I wanted to chat to my friends. I wanted to go out and play football in the yard. I wanted to do all the sort of extracurricular activities, if you want to put it like that, to get me out of class. But at the same time, like I knew it was important. I knew I needed some sort of an education. Like,
when did you realise you're like, right, like, is A, something I'm very good at, and B, something that could potentially become a career? Because for lots of people, for most people, football is just a nice fun hobby.
Yeah, look, I suppose it was always a dream. I've always had myself as probably a bit of a realist and maybe lacked a lot of confidence when I was younger. So I never thought I was really good at it. That was one thing I never thought. It's something that I really enjoyed. It's something that I wanted to be better at, because I did want to make it as a footballer. Yeah. I thought I wasn't good enough to be looked at and maybe brought away somewhere. So I just said, right, I'll play schoolboy football till you can't play schoolboy football anymore, and then see what happened at the end there. Like, and thankfully I finished out with Belvedere. I won the 17s. We had a really successful team. And I remember the Bowls manager, Pat Fenton at the time, and then the under-20s manager, Eddie Wallace, and reserves manager, Larry Corby, came in and said, look, these are our smashing side. We'd love to take you up and be our under-20 side.
Okay.
And that was sort of my introduction to League of Ireland football.
Okay. And because I imagine you're talking about, like, you never saw yourself as that good of a player. Was that because your team wasn't like very good and loads of those players have gone and played League of Ireland, or is that just more of a self-confidence thing?
Again, like, probably reflecting, it was definitely confidence and maybe no real self-belief. Like, I knew I was good at certain things. I never thought I was the best player in the team. I was lucky to play with some smashing players growing up. But I always felt in my head that I needed to really work hard to sort of keep up with the rest of the guys. It's probably one thing it was great for me in terms of keeping me grounded, keeping my attitude well. But at the same time, I probably worked too hard on maybe the physical attributes of the game. Okay. As opposed to actually honing in on the skills, which, to be honest with you, I probably didn't do enough until I actually came to Rovers.
Okay. I imagine that kind of hard work ethic that you had as a kid came from your parents, but they must obviously carry through to your everyday life.
Yeah, they do. I say, look, I was blessed to be brought up in the household that I was in, and my parents are great because they never got involved in anything. They just let me do what I had to do.
Sure.
Do what I, not once I do what I wanted, like, but let me pursue sort of any sort of sporting career or educational career they want me to do. Like, it's like, yeah, go make your mistakes. We'll guide you along the way, but we'll never get involved and like shout at managers for not put me on the pitch or saying you shouldn't be doing this. They'll obviously give me advice, like, but I think they let me make my own mistakes, which was really important. And you say the work ethic carries over into life, like in terms of every sort of thing you do, anything you're passionate about, you wanted to do it properly. You don't want to half-arse stuff, like, which is really important to me, and it's probably something I'm sort of, not once I struggle with now, but I'm sort of dealing with now, where like you kind of get into another end of the career, you should probably look at like what's after football. But for me, and what got the best out of me was giving everything to football, in terms of, like, I suppose trying to maximise as many avenues as I can in football, that if I start taking my eye off it, I think my game will suffer. I actually made it in my debut in the semi-final of the FAI Cup, which we lost. And I came on, I think, after 30 minutes, and I just found myself a bit like wild and a bit rash. I'm just like, I need to sort of like control this temperament here, like, and work on a few things. If I really want to make a career out of this. It's actually a funny story. I'm really good friends with the Bohemians captain, Keith Buckley. We came up through Belvedere together, and we went to the 20s reserve together, and it was about, I'd say, 6 months into playing with the 20s. So I remember we had access to DCU gym at the time, the high performance, and we used to use it before training, train, and then go over and do the recovery ice baths. And I remember sitting to queues with him today, one of the days, and we're chatting to each other, and it's just like, we're looking to sort, we were 18 at the time, said hopefully we'd in about 2 or 3 years time we'll break into the first team. I think the next week he was on the bench for the first team, and the week after that I made my debut. Wow. It's just way how quick it sort of went, and that probably caught me off guard, not being ready for that.
Do you think that's a good thing though? Because I think if you were there for longer and you were like building up to this potential deadline in your head or timeline of 2 years, we'll get into the squad, catching you on the hop might have been a good thing.
Yeah, 100%, because now in my old age now, and older age I should say, but looking back, like, the best thing for your development is playing matches. And if I hadn't had that experience at maybe 18 and I got it at 23, like, would that stunt me development? And where I was at 23, was I amazing? No, but it was a lot better than when I was 18. I could control that environment, that like sort of demands of like professional football, and I suppose like senior football as well, men's football. Like, it's completely different to playing in an academy, as I say, in England, or playing like underage here in Ireland. When you play men's football, you're playing against all ages, all abilities, like experience, and it's the best thing for a young player, I think.
And then how did you find your feet then going through your first few years of Bows, and then when you moved over to Shamrock Rovers? I imagine it was a case of you got pretty comfortable with who you are and how you play, and that side of
That's exactly it. I kind of, like, suppose, found myself and like a bit more assured of what I could do. I had some great mentors growing up as well, like Owen Heary, Derek Pender, Dave Mulcahy, Dean Delaney, like really good pros. Taught me a lot of stuff. Glenn Crone as well, who I played with at Bows, and now was a coach at Rovers. Like, really good pros, and just sort of gave me some little bit of tools that I needed to sort of work on my game and work on the sort of player that I want to be, not necessarily like ability wise, but just around the place. In terms of the dressing room, every day of training, like, and how to get, I found a voice. I think that was a big thing for me, and it's probably a strength in the game. I wasn't afraid to like demand out of players, demand out of myself. Like, if people needed to kick up the arse, to give me kick up the arse, but also put the hand around it, just trying to encourage them. So I felt my role developed into, I was someone who could get the best out of other people. In terms of, I was playing alongside them, I could make them feel great. I could get them going, and stuff like that. Well, that's what I felt. People could tell you differently, saying he was horrible to play with, but I did feel I could maybe get like an extra 1 or 2% out of players around me. I think that like sort of led to maybe people seeing me as a bit of a figure where you could organise people. Like, and I think that was maybe something that the time the manager was looking for, because the Rovers were sort of entering a transitional period, getting new players in. You felt, I think I was 24 at the time. I played a lot of games in the league at this stage, and I was quite vocal. I know that, like, so maybe that stood out. Like,
and being a vocal player, that come from just being like a more defensive style of player, and you like to be able to organise the guys from back, or is that a personality thing?
It's see, it wasn't a personality thing before, but as I think football has brought it out of me, and I think so. I think you're told from years like big part of defending is communicating, especially when you're in a central position. You can see the whole game, and you need to be able to talk to people around you, and that again comes from people I played with, where you'd be talked through games, and if you weren't doing something, you'd be getting an earful, like, and it's something maybe that I took with me, like, and yeah, like. I like to sort of organise, I like to sort of help people out if I can. I need to look after my own game first, but if I can help you out as well, that means it'll help the team out. Like, so yeah, I think it's important, because as well, when you play sport, and football's one of them, you switch off. It's easy to switch off.
Yeah.
We all do it, I do it, but if I say something in that instant, I might switch it back in before something bad happens, and I'm hoping someone does that to me as well.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. We're going to make our way over to Little Stone Castle, because I know you've got into golf now in the last few months.
Yeah.
But before we get over there, obviously your father's from Cape Verde. You played internationally and represented Cape Verde. What was that experience like? That must have been, like, for yourself personally, like a huge sense of pride.
It was amazing. It's been an absolutely amazing journey now, I have to say, and I'm sure you know the story. I nearly missed the opportunity to play, so it was a LinkedIn sort of message that I let go for about 9 months.
It's a rogue way to get your call up.
Yeah, so when I was in college, I set up a LinkedIn account, and it was more so like I think it was part of a module.
Sure.
An assignment to do, like, and you add all your friends, like, and then you start meeting like connections from all sorts. You update your profile to say you play for Shamrock Rovers and this and that. Like, a few people come and visit. Like, I remember the manager at the time followed me on LinkedIn, so I just followed back, and then he messaged me. I just thought it was a spam message, because it's like, you used to always get hi, thanks for connecting me.
Yeah.
It was in Portuguese, and me being lazy just never translated. I just left it there for 9 months, and thankfully he came back to me in English, and he said, "Roberto, have you thought about the opportunity?" Like, and I was like, "Oh, this is actually serious. It's not spam here." Like, so I done what I should have done 9 months ago. Google Translate, and they were looking at getting new players into the Cape Verde setup, and if I'd be interested. So I wrote back as quick as I could and apologised profusely, saying, "Look, if the opportunity's still there, I'd love to be a part." And thankfully it was. 2 months later, I was in Marseille, making my debut against Togo, and then we played Marseille in a friendly, and just the journey we've been on since has been absolutely amazing.
That is actually an amazing journey. You're talking about not really following football, playing it on the street, but again, not having self-doubts, but not being sure of your trajectory.
Yeah.
And then going up and playing in the AFCON, playing against Mo Salah at, like, you know, his peak at his time. Like, your journey is incredible.
Yeah, and you know what? Like, I don't do much reflecting. It's only to say, like, in chats like this, because you're always so focused on the next game and the next challenge that you don't actually take a step back. Like, but yeah, look, that's one thing that, like, I'll always look back in fond memories. I think maybe because international football, you play maybe 2 games in a window and then you're away from it.
Sure.
So if you win them 2 games, I get 2 good results, you go away on such a high, like, and when you come back, you're looking forward to getting back into it again.
Yeah, no, it's been a great journey, and I mean, it's been a good fun one to watch as well from the outside. We're going to take you out of your comfort zone a little bit. I know golf's a new thing to you, so playing on camera is probably going to be a little daunting and a little out of kilter for a regular
it should
match
be
week.
Entertaining to watch, maybe not for the skill level, but for the humour.
All right, well, we'll head on now.
Brilliant.
What's been the biggest game you played then for Cape Verde?
One for me that really stands out, we had a home game against Angola started last year in March, and I've been obviously playing a good bit now at this stage.
Yeah.
And I just remember in the game we're playing really well. Angola are a really strong side. I think we're having a draw, and they were putting us under pressure at one stage, and I think I made a few tackles and a few blocks, and the crowd started singing my name.
Wow.
And I was just like, it was a bit surreal, because like since I got involved, I really delved into trying to learn the culture, learning about me heritage. Something that I probably didn't do enough of as I was younger, and I really felt Cape Verdean at the back of that game, which was really nice.
And then on top of your international career, Shamrock Rovers has been flying the last couple of years, really, really good. It was the UEFA Conference League. Things seem very good in camp at the moment.
Yeah, it's been going well. It's going well. You say, like, it's you don't want to sort of rest on your laurels and think, oh yeah, everything is sweet, like, because there's it can kind of bite you in the arse quick enough. Like you really want to stay on top of things and stay focused. So we've had a great experience last year in the Conference League. We obviously missed out on the league, which is disappointing for us. Like, so we're really trying to rectify that for us this year. And look, we're not on the cusp, I suppose you want to say. We've got a difficult game ahead of us to maybe make the Conference League again, and that'd be an amazing achievement.
It seems like the League of Ireland is in an incredibly strong place now. It's developed over the last few years, but the growth of it and even the growth of popularity has been massive. It's been great to see.
Yeah, it's been amazing. I think since COVID, it really has got an injection of, I suppose, like appetite in the fans. The crowds have come out in their droves, like, and the interest is really peaking up, and it's a constant topic now. Where before I used to get a little soundbite here and there, but it's a constant topic being spoke about. Like, there needs to be more coverage on this, and like how can we get more people involved, more people in the stadium? Can we develop the facilities, which is something that's really sort of lacked, I think, development. But it all helps. See, like getting to the teams getting into the European stages of competitions. Like, we have 2 Irish teams now on the verge, potentially could be playing the Conference League, which never happened before, and that'd be huge. And to say, I think I heard Stephen Kane say like about high tide floats all boats. So I mean, the league's trending again.
What do you get from the game of golf? Like, do you find it relaxing, or is it like a different competitive urge, or is that drive to be good at something new?
Yeah, drive to be good at something new, definitely. The competitive edge for play with the friends, and it just for the crack. It's great being out on the golf course, I find, with your friends. And while we're quite competitive, we'll always have a joke or two. We'll laugh about something, we'll grab a coffee after and just have a catch up. Like,
nice. You've mentioned a couple of times that like you're getting older. We're both 33, so every time you say getting older, I die a little bit.
In football terms, yeah. I still feel young in life.
Yeah. Have you thought about life post playing?
Yeah, little bits. I think it's important throughout your career to have thoughts of the life after football. Well, at the same time, you don't want to take a focus too far off it. Yeah. So I've sort of throughout the years, I've got qualified as a PT. I've done my UEFA B course. I actually completed that this year, which is important. Like, so I think it's important maybe to add feathers to your cap in terms of what you want to do. What I want to do out of football, I'm not 100% sure, but I want to make sure that I'm in a position where the transition is quite easy.
Yeah, for sure. What is that Creole dish that you were talking about the chef cooked for you guys?
It's a cachupa.
Yeah.
So it's a really sort of a hearty meal, and it's like a sort of bean stew with like bacon or chorizo, with corn and like carrots and onions on it. So it's
all the good stuff.
Yeah, it's a staple in Cape Verde food, where they'll say cook it as a stew for like lunch. They'll have it with lunch, dinner, and the next morning they'll fry it with eggs for breakfast.
That does sound nice.
Yeah, no, it is, I have to say. And it was something my dad used to always make at home, but he'd make the stew version. And the first time I went with the national team, I had it was like the first time in Cape Verde I should play the national team, I had the cachupa fried. I was just like, what is this? This is not what I get at home. Yeah. It's amazing. And I went home and told my dad, and he was like, oh, I think he was delighted that I was eating cachupa, but I think he took exception to the fact that he's never done it fried, and we were eating it for about a week then after that. So it's typical, isn't it?
So what do you get like to do then on down, like after a training session? You're not bogged down with fools like us.
Do you know what? Like, I get a bit of slang for this. I'm a great napper. So even when we go away on trips, like, I'll be asleep on the plane before we leave the runway. Okay. So I do like to come home and have what I call a power nap. Yeah. And then I start maybe prepping dinner or something like that, which is, as I said before, I do like cooking. Nowadays, I like the gym. It's a real interest of mine. I like sort of recovery, so I'm like saunas and ice baths, and just generally switch off, like going out for food. Like, it's a long season to sort of be, I suppose, really sort of strict on yourself. So you need the little sort of circuit breaks as well, like just to do something completely different.
100%.
Like play golf.
Yeah. Whatever works.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Exactly.
I think you're in a pretty good position there. You're over the bunker after seeing your chip in the last hole.
Yeah.
Easy.
Yeah, just have to follow it. Yeah, the consistency. You know what? We're 1.5 hole in.
Yeah.
I feel good. I'm playing my best stuff I've ever played. So.
Look, and it's on camera, so everyone can say he's a golfer. Do you find there's much similarities from football to golf? They're both obviously opposite ends of, like, football's a very fast paced fast
Yeah, I
reaction
think
sport.
the actual technique, like the striking, I think in most striking sports, maybe not maybe MMA or something like that, like, but like ball striking sports,
Yeah.
there's a way to get certain spins on the ball. There's a way to sort of make a ball go high and drop it short, like, and there's always that sort of striking actions in football, that similarities in terms you want to draw the ball in golf, you want to curl it, you have to sort of kind of come around the ball.
Yeah.
You want to spin, you have to sort of outside it, get a bit of slice, like, so. Yeah, I know how to do them in football.
Yeah.
It's,
Principles are the same.
yeah, so there is that. I like to think I'm quite calm, quite chill. Never really.
You're vocal on the pitch though.
Yeah. So I just get into this mode where I just, like, if I have to, I say things twice a lot.
Okay.
One for myself and one for you.
Okay.
So, like, you will be told more than once to do your job, like, you know. And a lot of it's just cues for me, like.
Sure.
So it's just something I need to hear, I'll say it, and it's like, yeah, someone else need to hear that as well, so they're going to say it again.
That's fair.
Yeah.
And so that could be anything, just like if a player's making a move down your left side, you'd be like, you'll just call it out for yourself once, and then another time for
or like
back,
that,
whatever.
like, just to make sure somebody knows, because, like, you get that as well in football, like, you'll say something, yeah, and then, like, it just happens. You need to make sure someone knows a job. And I'm saying to myself, I'm not telling you twice that.
Yeah.
You're not doing a job. The next time we're going to have a problem.
Yeah. We're going to have a problem. So we're on to our last hole here now. Thank you very much for your time. You've been very good.
I know, it's been brilliant. I really enjoyed it.
So I always find it fascinating spending time with elite athletes and figuring out what have been the big moments for them. So for you, what's been the greatest moment on a football pitch?
It's difficult. It really is difficult, as I've been lucky to have a few moments in my career. And also I don't like dwelling on them too much, because I always think there could be a bigger one coming down the road. Like,
okay. So what's been the biggest so far?
So far, it's probably the 2019 Cup final with Rovers. As I say, I knew Rovers was the most successful club when I joined there, and they had the history of winning the most leagues and cups. But I think the last cup was like 32 years previous to the year that we won it, like, and you really got a sense of how much it meant to the die-hard fans. Like, you were there, like, with families where a parent might have seen the team lift the last FA Cup, but their child didn't.
Sure.
And just to having that moment together. I remember it was a really difficult game. We were playing against Dundalk, who were a big rivals at the time. We're trying to chase them down for years. We finally got one over in the cup final. And just the celebrations after that, just what it meant, the relief, and it sort of set us on our run after that. I think it gave us the sort of psychological edge that we need to say, right, we are good enough to win stuff. We went on to win the league next year, like, but just that moment, I think it sort of started so much for us. And even the aftermath, like going to schools with the trophy and that, and seeing what it did to Rovers fans, to the future generation, it was a huge moment.
Yeah, that's a great answer.
Yeah, thanks.
But biggest so far?
Biggest so far, yeah. Stay tuned.
Thank you, John. Pico, pleasure. Thanks very much.
Yeah, no, amazing.